Right folks, we're back on the bank after about 4 weeks of no fishing whatsoever. All down to rain, work, minor medical problems, everything has just been stopping me getting out in the bank over the last 4 weeks. Rain being the really big one. It rained like I've never seen before. I think it's rained for like 52 days back to back here in Ireland. That would be every single day of the year since the new year started. Just constant rain, everything's a mess. Which brings us here today, at one of the big lakes in Cavan. Looked at a couple of lakes yesterday, everything's busted to bits, up in the banks, water running out onto the roads. Just been a mess really, just been an absolute mess. But look, we're on the bank. We're going to give it an oil rattle today. It's probably going to be my last dead bait session of the season, and really hoping we can get a run or two here today. So we've 2 rods out, small mackerel tail and smelt. Both of them just with the 1-tone tackle attractions, hells on the smelt, and king crab on the mackerel. King crab and mackerel goes really well all over. A lot of boys in the UK and a lot of boys in Ireland been using that combination, a really simple one, because mackerel tends to be one of the easiest baits to get your hands on, and it just so happens to go really well, and it's catching fish. So yeah, we've the bait boat with us. We're at getting the baits out into about 10 foot on the right hand rod, and in around 9-10 foot on the other rod. So let's see how it goes. Hopefully I'm checking back in with a run. It's been a while. I forget what it feels like, so let's see how it goes. Right folks, I'm just going to give you a wee run through the setup, just while there's nothing happening here. So what I use here for dead baiting, and especially since I have the bait boat, I use 2 10-foots, a lot of overhanging trees to the left, trees to the right. 10-foots are just a wee bit easier to use. Now again, bait boats are not essential, but if you don't have one, I'd recommend you buy 12-foots for more punching power and getting baits out further. But it's nice when you have a bait boat, because you can just put the bait out wherever you want to put it, and then still use the smaller rod, which most people tend to use or like to use. This bait boat is Boatman. It's the Vulcan 2. Really good boat, recommended all day long. And what I do is, instead of buying bait boat with sonar, which is going to be twice the price, I just attach a deeper chair plus on a little swing arm here at the back. That's connected to like a Velcro, and then I have it tied up here on like a security strap as well. So if that Velcro gives way, you're still getting your deeper back. But yeah, really recommend this. Great bit of kit. On hook and mat, very important. Pliers, cutters, very important. So they're essentials. The bait boat's not essential. The mat is essential. The cutters and the long nose pliers are essential. Rods, of course, are essential. Bait, so we're using mackerel and smelt here today. Use whatever you like. There's days where they all work. There's days where one works better than the other. Again, another essential bit of kit is a net. This is what I've bought recently. I love this. This is one of my favourite bits of gear. It's the Fox Predator. Nice big rubber mesh net. Really good for netting fish. Really good for resting fish. It's an absolute monster. And then it has a nice big pole on it, which is about 6 foot in total. So net is essential. And rubber mesh, in my opinion, is essential. It's just more fish care. Rod pod. So You can use bank sticks, or you can use a rod pod. I like using a rod pod. Everything's a bit neater, more compact. Bait alarms or bite alarms are essential. Receiver. So receiver's very, very important. If you're out of range of hearing hearing the alarms. So for a good example, if you're bivvied up there for the night and your bivvy's sat back in an area, or you're asleep, this is really, really good. You get guys sitting in their cars at like marina areas, closing the eyes for a couple of minutes, and receiver, once this bite alarm goes, so receiver goes as well. Drop back indicators, I find, are essential, because if you get a fish lifting your bait and moves back towards you, the arm will drop, and when the arm drops, it will send signal to the alarm, and alarm will go. So I mean, if a fish takes you and runs forward, fish takes you, runs back, drop back indicator will set off the alarms, and it will let you know what's happening. Yeah, like everything else then is I mean, you can have it all and still want more. A good thermal suit, welly boots, always really, really important when it's cold and it's wet. Braided line, so on your rods, I'm using 10,000 Shimano's. So braided line I find is very, very important. It's more solid, and yeah, go for a good one as well. Go for something in around £40 plus. Reason being, a lot of people like using £30 or £20 because it's lighter, and they think the pike doesn't see it as much as they do the thicker braid. It doesn't matter. Use a thick braid. If you get snagged up there on a rock or in anything, you can pull the hooks straight and get that full rig back, so there's no pike or any other fish swimming around with a rig down its throat and potentially die. So braided line, and a really, really good one at that, is very, very important. But yeah, that's it. Everything else, I mean, you can have a chair, you can have shelters like bivvies or brollies. But that's it. That's it. So just if you want to get into dead baiting, they're the sort of things that you should be buying. As I said, the bait boat, it took me a while to buy one. Financially, I couldn't afford one, and then I got a few pound together and I bought one, and I really, really like it. And what that does for me now today is I can put baits where no man can cast out as far as I want, and drop them and make sure that the rig's dropping nice and tidy. I can see on the sonar if there's bait fish in the area or if there's big pike in the area before I drop it. So really, a really, really, really good bit of kit. But yeah, that's the setup. Nothing fancy about it. You don't need any more. As I said, you can have it all if you want, but yeah, that's all you need. Sorry, I didn't mention it there in the setup. Something that's really, really important. So if you're pike fishing, always and forever use wire traces. I use £40 wire by Fox, and then I use the Savage Gear sometimes as well. But wire traces is very, very important, and one of the biggest essentials that you'll use while pike fishing. Don't just tie braid down off to the hooks, because the pike will just lift you. Their teeth is that sharp, it will just split the braid in half, and they're gone with hooks in their throat. So always and forever use wire trace. Wire trace is very, very important. But yeah, well, here now about an hour and a half, and we've them two baits still out in the same spot. Now again, sometimes I like fishing for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and then take the bait in and put it back out. Or put a fresh one back out, or juice it up with some sort of attraction, or spray it and then put it back out. But no, it doesn't seem to be that sort of day to day. Everything's really, really quiet. There's no bait fish moving. The water's very, very high. So I would probably prefer to leave the bait sitting and let pike find it. It's getting very close to spawning as well. The temperatures are starting to rise this week, so I mean pike could spawn in the next 2 weeks. And when they're like this, there's a period where they just don't want to touch anything. They'll see the bait, they won't care about it, they'll bypass it. They've one thing in mind, and that's spawning, and it can be very, very hard. Well, it can be very hard. It can be very hard any day fishing, but especially this time of year, it can be very, very tough. But yeah, we're going to just leave them out. If anything happens, we'll check back in. But before I came here today, I wasn't expecting much. I was just happy to get out on the water and get fishing. And anything that happens after that's a bonus. So yeah, keep in touch. If anything happens, I'll be back. Right, folks. So it's 1 o'clock. We're here about 4.5 hours. Not even a single beep on the alarms. Started out fishing a little small joey tail and a smelt, and then I changed across to a big mackerel, a big headless mackerel. I sprayed the smelt and I popped it up, and then I put it back on the bottom. Moved the rods around a bit. Bait boat went dead. Started moving the rods about, more in the sort of marginal areas now. Wasn't getting runs out further. Changed across again, so I changed across to 2 little small joey tails. Reason being, there's good trout in this water as well, so I mean, you have a chance of a good pike, you have a chance of a good trout. But at the moment, it's looking like a blank. It's very, very slow. Yeah, it's one of them days. I was expecting this. I got the little shelter up. It's trying its hardest to rain again. It hasn't done anything else. But overall, this is probably the driest day we've had all year. The water levels are still pretty high, but it doesn't look like it should affect it here. It's really, really clean, but you just don't know. It's hard. It's a hard day. It's a hard water, but it's overall it's a hard day. I was speaking to a couple of guys that's out in the bank on different lakes and on the phone there, and they're all saying similar. No runs, very, very quiet, as if they're not even there. But yeah, we'll just keep it lit. We've a couple of hours left. I'll fish it here until probably about 4 o'clock. So it's another 3 hours, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll get a run. It's one of them days. I'll even take a jack just to come off, just not to blank. But yeah, it's very, very slow. Folks, it's been an absolute brutal day. Brutal. Not one run, not one fish. Not even a sign of a bait fish. It's been really, really poor. I just think I'm going to start packing down as well. I'm going to start getting all this stuff back up to the car. It's just been brutal. But look, that's the way it goes. I'd usually stay on longer, till in around 5, half 5. But I think it's about 3:30 here now, and nothing has happened. Absolute zero has happened. But yeah, you can't do too much about it. Now look, the rods are still out there. I'll get all this stuff down. I'll pack the rods up last. Just give them that every minute. But yeah, bad day all around. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get something to eat, charge all the batteries up, charge the bait boat, and get back on the water tomorrow. Tomorrow's my last day off. I booked a week off work. And funny enough, this is the first day I got out fishing. I've been that busy with everything else, and the rain just been so bad, and the weather. wasn't really helping. But I kind of expected that today. It was expected after all that rain and everything just being so high. But yeah, another shot at it tomorrow. Let's see how that goes. A wee tip for you as well. Just when you're packing up, instead of taking the rods in, just give them a wee small twitch, tighten up and put on your bait runner. And then that way you can take your pod down and still be fishing. As long as you're beside it and you can hear the reels going. But yeah, a hard day on the water, as expected. Wasn't the first blank and it won't be the last. You have to take them on the chin. But we'll get back at them tomorrow. We'll get back at it tomorrow. We'll hit somewhere, maybe some sort of runs water, where we can get a couple of jacks or a better chance of fish. When you're fishing bigger locks like this, it's always a one run water. But when you do get fish, they tend to be good fish. But yeah, it'd just be nice now for one of them to go, but I don't see it happening. Saying that, it's usually when it does happen. There's Monty. Monty was given to me by my daughter, and she tells me to bring it fishing with me every time I go fishing, so I do. Monty's my little mascot. But he didn't come out of the bag today now. He knew it was going to be bad. Get yourself one of these. It's a quiver bag. I bought the Corum one. Fox is a really nice one there at the moment as well. That Fox Predator range. Everybody seems to be on it. It's same range as that net, but it's really good stuff. They really upped their game. I mean, they've always kind of been the best, haven't they? But they've really upped their game with that new Predator range. Stuff is really good. Small compact bag for rod pod. You're not carrying a big lump of a pod around with you. Breaks down really easy. But it's very handy. It goes into the backpack or into that quiver bag with everything else. There's the rain. Everything's just soaking wet. But yeah, folks, I'll catch you again. Thanks for watching the videos. Hopefully now I can get out tomorrow, and if we do, we'll try and continue tomorrow into the back end of this video here as well, and hopefully get a couple of runs. tight lines, and thanks for watching. Day number 2. Bit of a mess this morning. Went to 2 other lakes before here. Everywhere was just in bits. Everywhere is flooded. This is not the greatest, but 10 times better than Lake 1 and Lake 2. Look, we've the baits out. We've the brolly set. There's a bit of rain coming today. And let's hope for the best. Let's see what we can do. I'm really hoping for runs today. It's looking good for runs in all fairness. I'm finding about 25 foot of water out to the left hand side here. And I'm probably in about 13-14 foot heading back as far as I could put it in the bait boat this way. Yeah, let's see what we can do. The place is absolutely destroyed in rubbish, as you can see. So it's heavily pressured. But what can you do? It was the only chance we had this morning, looking at the other lakes in the area. So let's see what we can do. See if we can get a fish out. Okay, folks. So since there's not much happening, I'm going to just show you a little bit about the Boatman Vulcan bait boat. This is what I've bought. Now there's hundreds of bait boats in the market. I find this very good for what I like to do, for lots of different reasons. I'm just going to show you how simple it is to use these boats. So first thing, big button at the front, hold down until that powers on. You see the 2 lights at the back, that's the boat powered on. The remote, which looks very confusing, but it's not, and I'll explain that. Big power button here until it beeps. That turns on, and as you can see there, you've got the signal from the remote to the boat. You've got the power of the batteries in the boat, and at the bottom you have the power of the remote, and they're all in 5 lights, so they're all fully powered. At the bottom then there's 3 different speeds, and you can change your speed of the boat by pressing that speed button from high to medium to low. We'll just put it back on medium. Really simple. So I'm going to explain to you what I'm going to do here now. At the tip of that fallen tree, I've got a bait in the water, and I've a couple of old smelly baits here that I was using throughout the day. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop these up, and I'm going to go over and just drop them on top of that bait and try and pull a pike into the area. So what we do is we just cut these up in little small sizes. Then we just load them into the boat. What you can do as well, you can put a little bit of attraction in there. So I'm going to use the 1-tone tackle octo shrimp. I find this very good. Just a couple of drops of that on each one of those. Just drop the boat in the water, and then on the remote you've got forward, left, right and back here on a little sort of joypad. So just hit forward, and then you can navigate using this where the boat's going to go. So if you can see, go forward, you can go right, you can go left, you can even put it in reverse, turn the boat around the one spot, which is really cool. But we'll just head over there to where that bait is. So different settings of speed, right? I'd like to drop that now to low speed, so I can just creep that boat in above that bait. So we're just a little bit past the fallen tree, if I can remember correctly. sort of in and around that area. So middle hopper opens the 2 hoppers in the middle of the boat, so I'll show you that when we come back. So if we hit that, that's the bait hopper dropping. You see the 2 red lights on the boat, that lets you know that the 2 hoppers are open. Then you just turn it around and drive it back. So what you can do as well, you can face the boat towards you and just hit that forward button, and it automatically drives it back, so your hand's free, and that boat's coming back to you. So I'll show you something else here. So once the boat's close to you, you just hit the down button, everything stops, the boat comes back. Do you remember I was explaining the hoppers? So that's 1 there, and that's 2. And on this you can individually open left or right, if you had the reason to do that. But yeah, so back to why I bought this boat. The thing I like about it is, on a lot of boats, what you have to do is you have to open the 2 hoppers and load them from up underneath, and then close them, which is a bit of a pain, but it works. But on this one, you click that back and you load everything into the top, and you have your line running out the back, and you close this, and then you can drive your bait from your rod out to wherever you want to put it. Hit the middle hopper button, everything drops, turn the boat around, hit forward, and everything comes back to you. So yeah, that's Boatman Vulcan, one of the newer models on the market. It's Vulcan 2 actually. It's the second model of Vulcan that they've made, and I think it's really, really cool. It saves a lot of hassle, and you can get out into areas where you can't cast normally. So yeah, cool bit of kit. If you're looking to buy a bait boat, I recommend this one. So just power everything off until it beeps, and then hit that big button on the top, and that's it. Hopefully we can get a run now. Folks, just before we end the video, I'm just going to say, coming new to the channel very, very soon is going to be a bit of feeder fishing, and not like any other feeder fishing videos that you watch. They're going to be more at a beginner's level, because I'm a beginner when it comes down to that sort of stuff. So you'll be watching a beginner giving you beginner's tips on feeder fishing, is basically it. I've took up a little bit of tench fishing last year, and it was all on the tip. It was all feeder fishing for tench, and I've really executed it. So I was really happy with the season last year, and I've recorded absolute zero of it. So this year and very soon, we'll be out on the banks, and we'll be doing a bit of feeder fishing where we'll be hitting bream, we'll be catching roach, we'll be catching tench, and anything else that we can get the hooks into. And it's going to be really clean and simple, and it'll really help you guys, that anyone who wants to take up that style of fishing, it'll really help, because I've done it plain and simple last year. I didn't get too much into it, and it worked really well. So yeah, I'm going to be ending my dead bait season now today. It's been a really tough 2 days, and it's starting to get really warm now at the moment. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to start doing a bit of lure fishing for pike, maybe a bit of jigging and drop shotting, and a little bit of bait fishing for the likes of perch. And I'm going to really hit the tench hard this year. And I'm going to do just a couple of little feeder sessions for just small fish like roach, and show you how to catch fish really easy, and catch lots of them as well, which will be good for anyone starting out that really wants to go and catch fish, and not be hunting them down like we're doing here this last 2 days with no runs. But yeah, also thanks very much for watching the videos. If you're watching the videos regularly enough and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. If you're subscribed to the channel and you're watching the videos, and you're enjoying the videos, just give the videos a little like, and if you can, give them a little share as well. It really, really helps when you're out here and you're shooting videos every time you're out fishing, and you're trying to get views and you're trying to entertain the people watching them. So yeah, if you can like the videos, share the videos, subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. As I said, a couple of new things coming now, like the bit of feeder fishing, which is going to be good. And what I'll do as well is when I'm buying me baits and I'm doing up me mixes for the feeder fishing, I'll bring you along as well to the tackle shops, and I'll show you what I'm doing and what I'm buying, and basically show you the whole lot. As I said, I'm a beginner at that style of fishing, but last year I've really executed it, and I was very happy with the outcome. So yeah, catch us on the bank, and thanks very much for watching the videos.